Your impressions of 2023 fall camp, first two practices so far?
It went well, man. The first day was pretty good. Guys was head spinning a little bit, a lot of the young guys, but overall the guys did a good job.
Isaiah, how do you say his name exactly? Augustov?
August
Isaiah Augustov. Um, your thoughts on him and just how he's jumped in so far, what his offseason was like as well?
Off season went well. He gained about 8 pounds of muscle. He's already a strong guy, but the biggest thing with him is he want to learn. He's been improving daily. A long way to go, but he's improving daily. Yeah, he's gonna be pretty good.
In my experience, that running backs who are good usually bite as freshmen. Do you think he has a chance to help y'all early, even though you got a pretty loaded room?
You have a chance. Thing about running back position is tell my guys all the time, everybody got to be ready because you get banged up a little bit and the opportunity comes, be ready to take it. So he'll get a chance. Hopefully, he'll get a chance to get that ball in his hands.
Yeah, coach, big story has been about Rocket and putting on all the muscle that he has, but still not losing any speed. What is your observation of Rocket so far this offseason?
Exactly what you just said. Bigger, faster, stronger. It was kind of surprising because honestly, we set up, we said certain weights we wanted to be at. Here's the 235, and I talked to him about it, and they was like, when we get 235, you got to lose muscle. I said, well, we don't get to do that, and we stay where we at. So he's in great condition. Rocket one of those guys who he competes every day like he's eighth string or something. Like he competes all the time, so he goes hard all the time.
About his leadership quality, he was pretty vocal today during practice. It seemed like when we were there.
Yeah, that's something he's been focusing on. Understanding he's a guy that's going to be a leader for us, and he's not a talkative person, so it's kind of hard for him at first. But now he's starting to do it even more because the guys look to him for it, so he's kind of taking on that role.
Coach, there'll be some difficult decisions when the season starts with the amount of guys you have in your room, but those are good decisions to have. Have you ever been a part of kind of a running back room where 1 through 5, it seems like anybody you put in there is gonna has the chance to be really successful this season?
Honestly, from the outside, it look difficult. For me, it's fun. So I got 1A, 1B, 1C, and I got Dominic on the way and Isaiah on the way. So it ain't difficult for me. It's fun. So they compete. Like I say about the guys all the time. It's fun because I know one going there and run for 10. I know the other one's saying, give it to me so I can run for 15. The next saying, give it to me so I can run for 20. So they're not selfish at all. All they want to see each other be successful. All they want to do better. So that's a beautiful thing for me. So it's fun to me.
All season did you see AJ have, and maybe is he different, better than last year in what areas?
I told him this is one of the biggest jumps I've seen in the all season. AJ was he's special. I mean, he's very fast, athletic, but now he's starting to trust himself and trust his speed. He really evolved into a college running back now. Before I had to put him in certain situations, and I was like, he can do that, but he might not be able to do this. He can do everything now. And he trusts himself. So I'm looking for good things, so I'm really excited about it.
Whenever Rocket went down in the Liberty Bowl, AJ and Davinian both really stepped up. What have you thought about kind of, having that close to the end of the year for them moving forward?
Say it one more time for me.
For them having that type of game to end the year, just moving into their off season.
It was exciting. Like I say, a lot of times from outside looking in, it was a big deal, but for them it wasn't. Rocket was ready for them to do it. Rocket was like, "Okay, coach, they ready." I said, "You good?" He's like, "I can go back in," but I said, "Nah." Okay, coach, they got it. We got it. And they was excited about it. We was going two-back personnel. We only had two backs. We still stayed in it because we trust those guys that much.
Sam was in here the other day, and he said one of the marks of a good coach is his players stay out of Sam's office. Apparently, the running back stay out of his office. What do you want people to know about like your whole group?
Great kids, man. I hold them accountable from the beginning. Like you hold them accountable. And expectations of what you give them. You give them expectations. They meet them. Or they don't meet them. They don't meet them to get consequences. They meet them. Give them praise. So my guys hold each other accountable. It's kind of funny to them when somebody say like, make sure you're not late. And one of them might say, you got everybody running backs. Because they know they hold each other accountable. It's easier for me because they hold each other so accountable.
Went into last year, I don't know if anybody would have counted on Rocket getting 1,400, that the reps might have been more. Do you think that AJ and Davinian could maybe take a little bit more off KJ this year, or how do you see it?
Yeah and no. It's a tough question just because when you're rolling, I have a rotation for the first two backs, but after that it's more of a field. So the first two guys know when they're getting in. They know who's gonna start, know who's coming in second, know when they're coming in. After that, has more of a field. So I don't know if it'd be less carries, but I do want to get the ball in other guys' hands as much as possible because they are doing a good job.
Good to see Dominic out there with you guys. How has he been coming back from injury? I know you guys are taking it a little slow with him, but how has he been adjusting?
Honestly, it was like surprising because mentally he's doing a great job. No fall off. He's been doing a good job of when he wasn't playing, of staying involved. And I had him on the other field, kind of coaching the guys up and staying involved, so he knew what to do. So when he did come back, he won't have no setback mentally. He got to get his body going back like it was before. But he's doing a great job of knowing exactly what I want to do. Now we want to give too many reps, and I don't want to break him down. I want to build on it bit by bit. We talked about that, so he understands what the situation is.
Last year, when he joined you guys after the first 3 weeks, chunky's a strong word, but he looked a little extra heavy.
Yeah.
And you said he needs to, do some things now, but he looks like he's ahead physically of where he was last year, even though I think he's listed at 252, same as he was.
Yeah, it's same weight but different, whatever the word is for it. But his body is different. It's more muscle, and it took care of him. So, even when he was hurt, he did a good job of doing stuff to keep his conditioning going. So they did a good job of it. So he's kind of ahead of it just because he was already in condition. So when he started back running, he could do it more running.
A really good addition y'all got is Emmanuel Crawford. I mean, 5A all-time leading rusher in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
He's only 168 pounds or so, though. What do you envision for him, say, a year from now? Obviously, he's got to put on some weight. What do you think he looks like in a year?
He have a role, a scat back. I call him scoot now. Like he's a quick little joker, scoot around. I got to slow him down a little bit. I tell him all the time, like at running back, it's not about going fast all the time. It's about the pace and understanding being able to handle the pace of certain runs. So right now he's going everything fast, but we'll fix that. I'd rather you go too fast than too slow. So he'll be all right. He's not going to be. He'll get to 175, 180 max. Other than that, I think it'd be too much for him. I don't want to put too much on his body. Everybody have a role right now. Look at my backs. You got guys. They look at all of them as good backs, but all of them are different. You look at them. You got Rockets, fast and powerful. AJ, fast. Convenient, change direction, and quickness. So there's some things you look for in backs, and all of them got a little bit of all of it, but some have different staples stuff they're really good at. So that's what you're looking for in the
Curious, obviously everybody thinks about the running backs carrying the ball, but especially maybe with Dan making some changes. Who would you say your best pass blockers, or who does a good job in pass blocking from your view?
The best. Oh, that's kind of tough. Probably Rocket because he's so much bigger. Pass blocking is one of those things where it's kind of like defenders know who's back there too now. So when they see Rocket, they might slow down. They don't come as fast when they see Rocket back there. But all of them understand it. All of them they do a good job of it. So I trust any of them back there.
Dominic, you mentioned the other guy's kind of strengths. People might forget 2 years ago he had a great yards per carry and everything. What are Dominic's strengths?
Dominic is a big back that don't always run that way. So he kind of deceptive to change direction. So he can stop and change direction really well for a big guy.
I think earlier in the week, Sam said that Rashad had his best summer and he's in shape now. Where might that benefit him most?
Oh, it's gonna benefit him a lot. Rashad is a football player. He loves football, but when he first got here, the weight room was something he had to do, not something he wanted to do. So as time went on and he started lifting weights, he saw his body changing. Now he knows he started enjoying going to the weight room. So Coach Sauter held him accountable and started making him do it. Then once he started making him do it, he saw the changes. He started wanting to do it. So it's going to be really good for him.
You mentioned earlier that you've got a game plan for the 1 and 2, and then after that it's feel. So there is a little separation there, but 1 and 2 and the rest. Is there a point in training camp where you'd like that separation to kind of show itself, or is that something that's going to go all through until week 1 against Western Carolina?
Honestly, it's not really a separation. It's just I want that second guy to know what he's going in. Just so I had to think about it, and I want him to be prepared for it. I don't want to just throw him in there. One big thing with my guys, I like when they play on special teams, so their first time playing the game won't be getting the ball. So a lot of times it's been special teams, so it's a rotation. What's the second part of your question?
Yeah, I was just wondering, like the pecking order, is that something that you have a date in mind on when you'd like that, behind Rocket, or is that just going to go all the way through the rest of the camp?
we go through the rest of the season, that can change weekly. They know like it'd be Tuesday, you're having a hard practice, you better have a good one on Wednesday. So every week, so that's what puts Rocket so hard because he learned when I first got here, he learned like there's a starter for a week, there's not a starter for a season, a starter for a week. So everybody got to earn their keep every week. So it's a big deal for you to practice good every day because we're about business of winning games. The only business putting the best person out there. So that's our philosophy. The best person out there at that time. So every week, you never know who's gonna be the starter.